Hello, YouTube. Happy Sunday and happy St. Patrick's Day to all of you. I hope you're wearing your green. I'm wearing a green shirt and this beaded, I guess it'd just be beads, wouldn't it, Amy? It's not really technically a necklace,
It's beads.
just beads.
Yep,
Um,
beads.
Happy St. Patty's Day. Much love to all of you. My name is Jared Fuller for Sunday, March 17th, 2019. Amy, there's a lot to go over this week.
Oh, I know it.
A lot to go over.
Especially with all the
But well, I'll get to that. So seems that there's so much to get to. I'm gonna get this out of the way real quick and remind all of you to visit GuideStar.org. GuideStar.org has a complete and comprehensive listing of all the 501c3 nonprofit organizations and LLCs approved by the federal government of the United States of America. Don't be fooled, don't be duped. Visit GuideStar.org today. Now, because like I said, there's a lot to go over. I posted a couple videos prior to uh, this one. So of course you watched the short clip I had made. My Uncle Rick had passed away at the age of 65. Now he had been sick for a short period of time, as far as I know, um, but he went quick. He was in a lot of pain, and I get, because Uncle Rick didn't want a lot of people knowing that he was sick, and um, it happened so fast. And it was a rough week. And out of 15 kids, and my grandma had about 15 children, um, including, she gave birth to stillborn children as well. And my mother was number 15 of 15, born in 1962. Uh, Rick was her last surviving sibling, only brother she had left, only sibling she had left. Um, and now, out of all the aunts and uncles of mine on my mom's side, mom is the only one that's still surviving. She's the only one left out of all the kids. Um, but my love and my condolences go out to my cousins, and I'm sorry you know, that they lost their father. I'm gonna miss Uncle Rick a lot. Um, a lot of memories. He used to come here quite often. He'd come over and have coffee, and I can remember as far back from childhood, like back in the 90s, everybody used to do the CB radio handles. I don't know if you remember that, Amy, but
Yep.
Uncle Rick used to really be heavy into the CB radio. My mom and dad were also into that, and Uncle Rick's CB handle was War Wagon. I remember it like it was yesterday. And mom and dad, of course, were Mickey and Minnie, and they used to do the CB radio thing when we had our Cavalier station wagon, and those were the days. I remember all that, and there's a lot more about Uncle Rick that I remember, and there's much more that I'm gonna miss about him. Um, but yeah, that's one of the big things that happened last week. He was cremated. He didn't have any services. It was all quick. That was the way he wanted it. But I'm really and truly going to miss my Uncle Rick. He used to call me J Rod. That was my nickname for him. Um, and I kind of took it hard. We went up to the bar at Back 40, and he always used to sit at the end of the bar closest to the kitchen. And Dad and I walked in. I think it was on the 11th when we were there, the day that he passed. Um, I sat right where Uncle Rick sat. He used to drink Michelob Ultra, by the way. I had a Busch Light, and I'm sitting there. I'm just thinking about Uncle Rick. Tears are strolling down my face. Bottoms up, Uncle Rick, and I just took a big swig and um, took it really hard. I'm still kind of, you know, I mean, I'm doing okay, all things considered. I guess, Amy. I don't know if you've noticed, but
Yeah, you are.
um,
You slip into it a little bit, and then you pull yourself out by going for rides and
yeah. Um, so there's that. Uncle Rick passed away at the age of 65. Um, I was sick for a good bulk of the week. I had a throbbing headache and uh, it's just all kinds of different symptoms. I had chest congestion. I still have chest congestion a little bit, um, coughing, and just I felt awful. Like my body ached. I'm doing a lot better. I still have a little chest congestion that I'm working through, but I'm doing a lot better than I did. And I was in bed for,
you sound better than what you did.
yeah, I even feel better than what I did. But I was in bed most of the week. I just did not feel well, and um, and I know what it was. I was at my cousin's house up north before that, and there's another part of the story, and I'll get to that. But I was at my cousin's house up north, and I noticed that one of the kids the littlest kid had a runny nose, and she didn't cover her cough. And not pointing fingers, but
Little Lexi.
yeah, little X. Um, but no, that's okay. Um, I didn't have to go up there, and there's no, you know, there was no reason that I had to be there. I just wanted to go and visit family. So, but I did tell her you got to cover your cough. You got to cover your mouth when you cough. But it was too late, and she was showing me something on, I think it was YouTube, and she ended up coughing without covering her cough, and it's like, oh, Lex, you have to cover your mouth when you cough, and so I'm guessing that's how
Right.
I caught whatever she had, but it's okay. I'm feeling better now. And when I left that night, they had freezing rain up there, and it was really just awful. Their front porch, the front deck that they have,
Uh-huh.
it was a complete sheet of ice. I had to crawl on my hands and knees just to get out to my van.
That would have been an awesome sight to see.
Uh, it was actually a crummy sight to do. Um, I had to, maneuver and obstacle myself out to my van because it was so slippery, and it came so quick. It happened so fast, but I had to crawl on hands and knees. And then on the way home, I did a complete 360 in the middle of Rhodes Road. Um,
That one would have been scary.
yeah, I was going towards the ditch, and I wasn't going fast, but I'm guessing I hit a patch of black ice,
Probably.
and I was going right for the ditch, and I'm tapping the brake like, whoa, 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 whoa. They tell you don't hit the brake when you're sliding, but I was trying to get control of my van. And so what happened was I spun the wheel because I was like edging the ditch. And when I spun the wheel, I spun all the way around completely. And I was facing the opposite direction when I had my foot all the way down on the brake. The brake pedal was all the way to the floor. And then my heart started boom, 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 boom. And I had to turn around in somebody's driveway and try her again. Um, but it was scary, and it happened twice. The losing control of the van, but I only spun around in a complete circle one time, and that was enough to scare me. But when I got on the other side of Midland, I lost control of the van a little bit because I was going all over the road, and it's like, wow, this is just not gonna work. But I had to keep going. I mean, I'm not gonna, you know, pull off to the side because I'm too scared to drive. I was just gonna keep going. And I didn't want to really stay at Heidi and Elwood's, no offense to them, but the kids had school the following morning, and I didn't want to be a burden to them
Right.
because they never asked me to come up in the first place, and I didn't want to push my welcome. That's why I left. And then, it didn't stop there. Good morning, Dad, or good afternoon, rather. It didn't stop there. I almost clobbered 2 deer, and they came really super close to my van. It's like, yeah, this is not a good night. So there was that. Thursday, and I posted a video from the local news of a series of tornadoes that had touched down here in Michigan, Genesee, and preferably, especially Shiawassee County. It was really quick, but it left behind a wake of destruction, especially in and around the community of Vernon. We got, the thunder and lightning and the gusty wind and the heavy rain. Yeah, and I posted a video from ABC 12. My buddy JR was explaining the path of the tornado and the winds and all that. But the tornado in Vernon was classified an EF2 by the National Weather Service. 125-mile-an-hour winds, Amy. That it had torn through Vernon. And I was in Vernon on Friday. I had went out there to, see if I could find any damages. A lot of down trees. There were no down wires where I went. Just a lot of, large tree branches. And Vernon, the town Vernon was open. You could go into Vernon, but there was no power. So, of course, Consumers was there. ABC 12 was there. The Michigan chapter of the American Red Cross was there. And the Michigan State Police were there. And they had M71, which is the highway that goes through Vernon. They had it closed off at Bennington Road. And, you had to go around and go through town or whatever. But I read on Facebook that M71 has been reopened between Vernon and Durand. So I'm glad that they got the road reopened again. But it was like a war zone through there when I was over there checking things out. And, this is only March, and we have like 6 more months of that kind of weather to look forward to. It's really, we get some very hairy weather, unpredictable weather here in Michigan. I was watching the storms as they were crossing Lake Michigan, and even on the west side of the state, they had 70-mile-an-hour winds with 1.25-inch diameter hail out, and I think by Holland, I think they said. And it was at 6:30 in the evening when the line of storms had been, they went right through Lansing. And about 6:45, they were in Shiawassee County, and then the tornado warnings were issued. There were 2 tornadoes in Shiawassee County, and then there were 2 tornadoes in Genesee County. It was bad. It was really bad. It left behind just a path of destruction, like 18 miles worth of debris and devastation. Luckily, nobody got killed in the tornadoes, and I heard that there were minor injuries, very, very minor. So on the video, at the end of the video I posted about the tornadoes, I had written no injuries, no fatalities. They were minor injuries, so I wanted to make sure I pointed that out. And then yesterday I went on a little joyride just to get out of the house. I was in Flint and Lansing and some other little places in between, like Cohocton and, just different places along the way. I took back roads. I was in Gaines and Cohocton and, let me think here, Swartz Creek. Yeah, I was I was everywhere, man. But I did like a great big circle. It included Flint and Lansing. I was in Howell for the first time. I went to the city of Howell, and it was interesting. Never been there before. It's a nice little town. I'd been to Brighton, but not Howell. Never Howell. Not until yesterday. So it was nice. It was nice just to get out and see different things because, I don't get out nearly enough. No, I get out when I want to get out or when I can afford to get out. But yeah, there's so much has been happening this past week. Uh, is there anything that happened in your week? Because I've just been sitting here blabbering.
Well, Friday night we stayed at my adopted mom's. Dad and I did,
That's right. I did have the house to myself.
and we had a blast.
Yeah, I saw the pictures.
And my brother actually shocked the out of me
Yeah.
because I thought he was going to be in a rage when he got up. Found out, oh, he was all right, because he thought, oh, it's just the nails that was done. Well, big sister had to break out the pictures. So he goes down to my mom's room, starts complaining and says, you need to get after these kids out here. They're being naughty. Mom comes out. She's trying her hardest to keep a straight face while she's yelling at me and his wife. And she can't. Even afterwards, my brother's still trying to get her to yell at us. And she's trying to talk to him, and she just can't hold a straight face at all.
They were all drinking and having a little bit of fun.
My brother was the worst, and he's the first one to pass out. That's why he got the torture he got.
Yeah.
With a woman, with women, and they party like that, and they say the first one that passes out, either the underwear or the bra go in the freezer.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I couldn't tell you, not from personal experience.
So the thing we do for the males, we just take lipstick and write all over them, and paint the toenails and paint the fingernails. Oh, and the wife wanted to go and put the lipstick on his lips and deck out the face, with eyeshadow and make him look like a girl in the face. And she wanted to go a little overboard. Oh, and don't forget, she got the cat toy, one of them that have the stick.
Yeah.
With the string with like feather on it. She kept dangling that over him and tickling him with it.
Yeah, I saw the pictures where Dad was writing on them and she wrote on them.
Yeah, I just thought the joke was on him when it comes to
yeah,
what Dad did.
you gotta unwind a little, and nothing wrong with that.
And then the next morning he gets a call from his boss wanting him to come and do a run. Well, he come out and he says, you know what? It ain't worth my time and my money to do it. So he said, nope. Get somebody else.
And provided that today is St. Patrick's Day, I wanted to also remind everybody that if you're going to be doing any kind of alcohol consuming tonight, make sure you have a designated driver or call a cab or call someone who can give you a lift.
Or take a designated driver with you.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much what I just said. Make sure you have a designated driver. Just don't drink and drive. It's not worth it. It's not worth putting your own life and other people's lives at risk. It's not worth the jail time. It's not worth the punishment. And it's more than just the jail stay. You'll have fines and restitution and all that other good stuff that you really don't want. So,
what was that Dad had to pay?
The driver's responsibility fee. But I heard they done away with those here in the state of Michigan.
Hopefully.
Yeah, well, I think.
But it's too late for that.
Yeah, well, they need to put tougher. Maybe the laws aren't strict enough. But anywhere you go, you're gonna get that. You're gonna get drunk drivers. But I only say for the record to not drink and drive because it's important.
Yeah.
That you exercise a little bit of courteousness when you're, you can have fun, but just make sure that your fun doesn't spill over into someone's fate. You know, you don't want your fate to spill on someone's lap,
Yeah.
including a car engine. You know, so
Mhm.
so
My brother knows how that one feels.
yeah. But just take it easy, and have fun. And we all have a little bit of Irish in us today, but I have Irish in me every day of my life. I have Irish ancestors. And speaking of ancestry, I had learned quite a bit about my mom's side of the family. I was just blown away at some of the information I had found out. Um, my it would be my mom's grandpa, which is my mom's dad. Um, he was born in the 1870s, 1874, 1875, in Ohio, and he was drafted into World War One. Their registration cards, uh, there's records of him. And my great grandpa Dukes, his name was Rollin Dukes, and he was born in 1874 or 75, and he died in 1941. And I was finding out all this information about, like my grandma was the seventh of seven children to be born in 1925. She died when I was only 3 months old. She died in October of 1986. She had congestive heart failure. I was the last grandbaby she got to see before she passed. But she was the seventh of seven children. Her oldest sibling was born in 1904. Um, so a lot of my aunts and uncles had passed away, from my grandma Beulah. That was my mom's name. My mom never got to meet any of her aunts and uncles except for Aunt Flossie, my grandma's sister Flossie. And I have to make that known because my mom had a sister named Flossie as well. So it was my Uncle Raymond and Aunt Flossie. Their last names were Burden. Uh, and my Aunt Flossie owned a couple of bars over here in Oakley many, many years ago. Um, but there was just so much information that I had never known, like, because no one really knew anything about my mom's side of the family through my grandmother. But I mean, my heritage goes back all of our heritages go back to 1800s and times before that. I mean, we all had to have come from somewhere. Um, but
I'd like to find out mine.
I mean, my mom's grandpa that she never got to meet. He was born in the 1800s, which it's trippy to me because my mom was born in 1962, but she was the 15th child, and grandma had about 15 kids, counting stillborn, as I had mentioned earlier when I was talking about the death of my Uncle Rick. But it's just really, I don't know, like my grandpa was bicentennial or something like that.
Yeah.
Or however you say it. Maybe that's not the word I'm looking for, but um, like he's ancient. um, of course, I never got to meet him, but it was just rather interesting to find out some of that information. So thank you to my cousin Teresa, um, because and I mentioned my grandma's sister Flossie. Well, that Flossie would have been my cousin Teresa's grandma. My grandma and her grandma were sisters. So yeah, it's interesting stuff. Interesting stuff.
Because I heard we got a relative that was a chief of an Indian tribe
On which side?
on my biological side.
Same with my side too, on the Fullers. It was my uncle who had he had the full headdress,
Yep, that was.
and I don't remember his name. Grandpa Fuller told me, my dad's dad told me,
Yeah.
but I don't remember what his name was. But he was a chief of, I think, a Blackfoot Indian tribe. Maybe it wasn't Blackfoot. I don't remember.
I know Dad says he has Blackfoot.
Maybe it was that then, because I remember like Grandpa was saying something about because we're related to the Duros
Yeah.
because his mom was a Duro. Duro being the root word of Geronimo, of the Geronimo Indians. That's what he was always told. I don't know how true that is. But anything's possible. I mean, I don't really know. I can't pinpoint it because I don't have the information. There's missing information,
Yeah.
and I can't give yay or nay to it. I'm neutral. I don't know. But it's interesting when you find out some information about your family that you had never known. Like my grandma Beulah's mom, she was born in Canada, so I have Canadian in me.
Oh, cool.
Unless she was just born there, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know if her parents were Canadian. They may have been, you know. Grandpa Raleigh Dukes's parents might have been Indian for all I know. See, I don't know information beyond that.
Right.
So, but it's really interesting to know who your relatives are, what your background is, your heritage, and your, you know, your ancestry.
I'd like to find out how if it cost anything to go on that.
Ancestry.com.
Yeah.
Yes,
That
I think you have to pay for that.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Or my cousin Teresa, I think she went. I don't know if she went to Ancestry.com or if she went to the Gratiot County Courthouse in Ithaca to obtain some of that information. See, I really don't know.
Right.
She might have went on Ancestry. I'd have to talk to her about it.
Yeah, if you could, would you?
Yeah.
That way I can
Find out how much it would cost.
Yeah.
Do a little background check and
That way I can look up mine and
yeah.
maybe see what I find out about.
As a matter of fact, I can do a quick Google search.
Let's see. I always got you running to Google.
Yep, because it's oh, shut up. Because it's trusty, you know. It's let's see.
You're like me. I always run to Google.
How much is Ancestry? Yeah.
Matter of fact, I was on Google this morning.
Ancestry.com. You'll be signing up for an Ancestry.com subscription. Here's where it starts to become clear just how pricey genealogy can get. A standard subscription to US data will set you back $99 a year. But if you quickly discover that your grandparents immigrated from Europe, you're looking at $149 to $199 a year. But I don't know if you do not need a free trial to view these records. The free databases are available to search at the Ancestry site. Free records, you may be asked to sign up for a free account, but the account is free, no strings attached. So, but that's not Ancestry.com though. Okay, let's try it. First and middle name. We'll see if it'll let me do it. Okay. we're gonna have a little bit of fun here, folks. Month, year,
Hey, it always pays to have Google.
Yeah, I'll do this later because this looks like it's gonna.
Lengthly.
It looks lengthy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just wait.
Actually, it doesn't look that bad. That's my phone from Facebook notifications. That's my exact.
I'm just curious because I keep hearing about it, and I just don't know anything about it.
Okay. I don't know what the rest of this is. This is weird. Okay. We'll just give it a try. You know, it doesn't hurt. Doesn't hurt to try. Let's see here. I don't.
I got your reminder running.
Your search of my name returns 0 ground matches? Why? So I don't exist? It looks a little confusing to me anyway.
Okay, then I won't even use that one then.
Yeah, that's.
If it's confusing to you, I
that's
know it's even more confusing to me.
Look like a heaping, helping, steaming pile of shit.
Okay.
Which I don't think I would, unless someone shows me how to do it. Like, what am I doing wrong? Because I was typing in all my information, my parents and my brothers, but then after doing all that, it says, well, we couldn't find any whatever ground matches are supposed to mean. I have no clue.
Right.
But it looks complicating, and I don't want to expand on that too much.
Right. Well, like I said, if it's too complicating for you.
Well, I mean, if it looks complicating because it was my first time and I'm only doing this on my own.
Right.
I would have to have someone show me how to do it. But I don't want someone to tell me, well, you got to pay for all that.
Right.
At long last of typing all this shit into the search fields.
Yeah.
It seems like they would tell you up front and not be sneaky or sly about it.
Yeah. I heard it was one of my uncles that was chief of an Indian tribe. His name was Junior.
I don't know what Ancestry.com would tell you. I could be, I don't know if they charge you, so don't listen to me, folks. I don't know the whole truth. They may charge you, they may not. I have no fucking idea.
Right.
I don't want to get into something that I'm going to be stuck paying for later.
Yeah, I don't want you to either.
But it looks simple. It looked fairly easy to use, but yeah, I'm not gonna, push on to that too much.
Right.
Unless someone shows me. Yeah,
Dad's,
huh?
Can't blame you.
Dad's really snoozing over there.
Yeah.
It's been a rough week.
Yeah, he ain't been feeling good.
The worst week, I would say.
He's been having that cough really bad again.
Yeah. I was coughing a little bit, hacking a little bit last night. No, there you go. It's psychosomatic.
Dang you, that cough is catchy. I got it over here now. Take a drink of your coffee if you got any left.
I opened my mouth.
Yeah.
And talked about it. But yeah, there's been so much happening lately, and usually I have nothing to talk about, but in this week's Sunday video update, yeah, there's a lot to talk about.
Well, we better get talking then.
Well, I pretty much put it all out there. Uncle Rick died. I was sick in bed. And thank you for the chicken noodle soup, by the way. That
Oh,
really
you're
helped.
welcome.
It was
I
really beneficial.
Well, usually if you ask for something and I can get it, buddy, I will.
I mean, I had the money, but
Oh, I
I
know
was just too sick to go out. I was gonna give Dad my card, but he didn't. He insisted. Okay, don't say I didn't offer.
that.
But
After getting the grape juice,
grape juice is not cheap. I priced that stuff. It's not.
it's reasonable at the dollar stores,
Well, dollar stores, yeah, but I
and
mean,
that's where I went to.
but well, we're talking Franks too.
I
They're
went
never
Dollar
reasonable.
General.
Yeah.
Is what I did. I didn't think you'd mind.
No, grape juice is grape juice to me. I don't care where you get it.
I got the chicken noodle soup there too.
Yeah.
It was reasonable there. Altogether, what I bought that day came to.
It was reasonable. I mean, you couldn't.
I had 72, and I come out with 40 afterwards. So.
You couldn't get reasonable at Frank's supermarket if reasonable jumped up and bit them.
Yeah.
Because you can get one bag of groceries, and you're dropping $35-40 on one bag of groceries.
Right.
Frank's is outrageous, which is why I don't like shopping there. I recently discovered Walmart, shopping there because I usually shop at Meijer, which is a Michigan-based department store, grocery store, by the way. But Walmart, they have their deals are monumental. I mean, you could get 2 dozen of eggs for less than $1. You could get a gallon of milk for like $1.28 or something like that.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Speak of those eggs.
Uh-huh.
Joe and Tammy got some of them.
Mm-hmm.
And she says the only thing that she doesn't like, because they come in the box instead of the carton.
Yeah.
She says you never know if there's any cracked ones.
Yeah.
Because you can't open the box and check it before you leave the store.
Yeah. Yeah, they get cracked in shipping or whatever.
She says other than that. Oh, and your popcorn is not from the state.
No, I know it's not. It says Indiana right on the bag.
Yep. And the onions we got are from Mexico.
From Mexico. But yeah, Walmart is.
Someone's waking up, Dad.
Scruffy. Lay down, buddy. It's our dog. But Walmart, yeah, they've got a lot of good deals on stuff.
He was wanting to look for something the other day.
Mm-hmm. I heard Kroger was pretty good too.
We were going to. Sorry about that, guys. We were going to
phone.
We were going to Owasso, and I come out and told him, I said, we're headed to Owasso. You might as well go to a Walmart and see if you can find it there cheaper.
Right.
And I get a lot of feedback about Walmart.
That's a good store.
A reasonable price, and people on their website, because you can get Walmart.com.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And order on your phone or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, they even are afraid of doing stuff like that because you got this item over here that's maybe $20,
mm-hmm.
and you're looking for the cheapest price, and you got one over here that's 10, the same item.
Yeah, they get ripped off.
Are they gonna take it off the $20 rack? Or are they going to take it off a $10 rack?
Take one that, I mean, because it rings up at the register, and you could grab something that from the $10 rack and it rings up as 20. Someone's messing around moving the items.
Yeah.
And then, oh well, no, I got it from the $10. Well, you would have to prove it then.
Yeah.
That would be very hard to prove.
Yeah, because what happens if a customer goes and put a $20 pair of pants in with the $10 pants?
And that's why they have the self scanners You know, like when you walk casually through Walmart, they have the poles in the middle of the aisles where you can scan it. Before you even go to checkout, you can scan it and it'll bring up the price.
Okay, I'll have to remember that.
Because you don't want to, you want to know what it's going to cost before you put it in the cart. Even though it says, on the rack or on the shelf how much it is, you want to scan it to double check just to, to be sure and specific. That's what they do. I use the self scanner things a lot just to make sure I'm not being gypped.
I have to remember that, bud. Thank you.
But
it's some good info.
And furthermore, like I could go to a smaller grocery store chain like VG's there in Owasso, and this happened to me one time at VG's. They had a certain price on something, and it was a reasonable price. I take it up to the register and it's scanned to be more. It's like, no, you got it marked as this price back here. You got to sell it to me at that price. That's what you have it. You have it marked. Well, we don't have to sell. Yes, you do. If you have it marked at that price,
yep,
you have to sell it for that price. Otherwise, I want to talk to your manager.
Right.
It didn't come down to that. The clerk had one of the other store workers come over. I said, now look, I grabbed it right from here. I'm pinpointing this to you. You have it right here. You got to sell it to me at this price. Okay, I'll let her know. Yeah, damn right you're going to let her know. You ain't going to rip me off. I don't care what it rings up at the register. I know where I grabbed it.
Good morning over there, handsome.
Hey, Dad. I think we're being too noisy, but that's just too bad.
Yep.
Because it's
actually,
1:45.
I think actually the doggy did it too.
And you better be wearing your green, Dad, otherwise I'm pinching you when you get up.
Oh. Scruffy, you gotta be careful of that.
If you I'm gonna pinch you, Dad, if you're not wearing your green today.
Oh, he's got his green on. He's got his camo on.
His camo?
Yeah, as of right now, though, you can pinch me all you want because all I got on is red and black and white.
I don't think everybody wants to know that, Dad. Do you know who else's birthday is today? You remember Nathan?
Oh yeah, Nathan. I can't remember.
Eden,
yeah.
Eden. Eden. Nathan Eden. He's 21 today.
Holy moly.
I haven't seen that kid since he was 5. And that was at his grandparents' house out by Langsburg. Remember when we went to go out there?
Yeah.
He turned 21 today. St. Patty's Day.
Well, my mom was asking me yesterday how old
she was, yeah.
Nicole was.
Yeah.
And I had to figure it out on my calculator.
Yeah. She's
21.
Should be 21 this year, yeah.
Yeah.
But Nathan, he turns 21 I haven't seen him in, like I said, years. And so today is his 21st birthday. Happy birthday, Nathan. Now, who would be calling?
Your brother. Hello. Yep.
Of course.
He just opened his eyes thanks to Scruffy.
Interrupt my video.
But, hold on.
But I don't know what else is happening today other than doing this and going through and editing my video and posting it, uploading it to my YouTube channel. I like to know what the thumbs down options are supposed to mean on videos because they're irrelevant to me. They're irrelevant to my videos. I could care less if people don't like the videos. Why the fuck are they there? Why do they have the thumbs down option? I don't understand it.
I never realized they had the thumbs
down
option.
You can like a video, sure, cool. But if you don't like it, you can thumbs down it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
Now that I know that.
What's the point? If you don't like a video, just don't watch it. Move on. You don't have to give your opinion because it doesn't matter. I don't know. Maybe YouTube will kind of up the ante a little bit and get rid of that option. Or maybe there's something that I have to do that I haven't yet discovered yet in the settings options on YouTube. Because I just think the thumbs up and thumbs down is irrelevant. You're going to like the video or you're not. You know, either way, I could care less. But it's just an annoyance. Of course, he would call and interrupt. Oh yeah, and I have a doctor's appointment on Tuesday. What this is something else I was going to talk about too. The one thing that I cannot stand the most is how look, I've had lots of cancer checkups all my life, and when I have physicians who use these double entendres like, well, we're going to have, you're going to have a physical, you're scheduled to have a physical. Now look, I know what a cancer checkup is. I just know. I've had enough of them. And they want to smuggle in this idea that it's a physical and not a cancer checkup. It's not my first rodeo. I know what a cancer checkup is. I don't need them to sugarcoat or smuggle in any ideas. They need to just call it what it is. It is a cancer checkup. Because I was supposed to have, I think, and this is what Mom says, and I don't know how true this is, but I was supposed to have cancer checkups all throughout my life. Although I was always told by Dr. Small, I think it was, that my checkups were only supposed to be until I was 18 years old, or Dr. Scott said that, or someone told me. I just don't remember who it was. Yeah. And then Mom said that I was supposed to have checkups all throughout my life. Well, if I'm scheduled to have physicals, look, if there's ultrasounds involved, if there's x-rays involved, if there's labs involved, if I have to piss into a cup, if I got to have a stethoscope put up to my chest or an otoscope put up to my ear, guess what? It's a fucking cancer checkup. It's not a physical. I've had far too many of those done to know what they are. Far too many. You can't fool someone who's already been through it and seen it and done it. But I had to give Dr. Small an earful about that when he was my primary physician, because he kept smuggling in this idea. And I said, you know what? It's not a physical. Just call it what it is and get it done. It is a cancer checkup. Well, Jared, we don't want to call it that. Well, I don't care what you want to call it. That's what it is. And Dad was sitting in the room when I had given him an earful, and I told him, I said, I'm tired of this bureaucracy that you have to sugarcoat everything just to take the scare element out. Just call it what it is, man. Don't bullshit me. It's a checkup. And sometimes, you guys, you have to be stern with your doctors, and I know that it's I do all the time. They're looking out for their patients, or the best interest of their patients. I get it. But you know what? Don't bullshit me. I've never had a doctor bullshit me all throughout my childhood on any of my, health issues or aspects concerning health. They have never given me any, false impressions of anything. They were straight. Huh? Well, they can hear you too. But that's what we need. We need medical professionals who are straight to the point. They don't bullshit. So I have a feeling that Dr. Ebert will hear a thing or two from me if she wants to smuggle in this physical shit. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a proponent of it. Just call it what it is. And that's that, pretty much. Oh. The dogs haven't been out yet.
Thank you.
You ain't got to whisper. They can hear you anyway, regardless. But that's why I want to upgrade the. I want to upgrade. Get some mics for my computer so that way the sound quality will be a lot better. It'll come in more crystal clear. Because I'm using just this $50 webcam that
sometimes if you're not right close to it,
yeah,
it's on.
I mean, they can hear me, but the sound quality isn't the greatest.
Yeah.
But I want to get a mic, save up for a mic, and maybe a boom arm so I can pull the mic directly into my mouth. So how was your week, Dad?
All right.
I mean, you were with me most of it, but
All right.
I mentioned at the top of the video about Uncle Rick passing away, and
we talked about Friday night at my mom's.
Yeah. We're gonna miss Uncle Rick though.
Oh yeah, we are.
Miss him terribly. He was my dad and my Uncle Rick. They go back since the '70s. They used to ride bikes together, bar hopping, getting bar fights.
Chase the women.
They well.
Yeah, that too.
It's
agreed.
We did a lot of motor work.
Yeah, they work. I mean, you taught auto mechanics classes.
Yeah.
Well, who am I talking about? Yes, you and Uncle Rick. But it happened so quick. It happened so fast, you know. What now? I can't hear you.
It still bothers him.
I know it. Well, it bothers me too. It bothers me too. I mean, he was my uncle. I mean, he was your friend before he was my uncle because I wasn't born yet. When you guys had known each other, but
that happened so quick.
I just
5 weeks he lasted. 5 weeks after he found out he had cancer.
Yeah.
How long did he have it before that? Not know it.
Don't know.
Yeah, nobody knows. It's like it happened so quick.
Yeah.
Because the last memory I have of Uncle Rick was at the back 40.
Yeah.
You know, and he would be out in the smoking area. You know, and yeah, he smoked cigarettes right up until. But the last memory I have of him, he was out in the smoking area. He was, having a cigarette, drinking a beer, watching his Keno numbers or playing Club Keno or whatever. And I walked in and, how you doing, Uncle Rick? Well, hey, J-Rod, what's up? And that's what he called me, J-Rod. But
I guess that was a way to say it, different than everybody else.
Well, I'm Jer Bear, but
he had his own nickname for you.
Yeah, my nickname's Jer Bear. It's but I let J-Rod slide because it was Uncle Rick.
That's all cool.
And I miss him terribly already.
Now Dad's gonna have to call you that every so often.
No.
Nah, that's Uncle Rick's. That was Uncle Rick's nickname for me. We'll leave that to Uncle Rick. I'll never hear that again from anybody else. No, and that was one of the last memories I had when he was smiling and laughing and joking around, and yeah, I'm gonna miss him, and I miss him now terribly. And I talked to my mother. She's on a text message. She seems to be doing okay for the most part. I haven't really seen her. I haven't seen her yet since Uncle Rick's passing, but I'm hoping to see her soon. He wants in. I'm hoping to see her soon. I'm going to try to get up to where she's at, and sometime this week, if I have the gas, I'm gonna try to get up there and see her, but we talked on the phone when the tornadoes were striking over in Shiawassee County. She called me up because she was worried, and she says, "You guys okay down there?" "Yeah, we're fine, Ma." And she says, "Well, I heard there was a confirmed tornado on the ground out by Vernon and Bancroft." "Yeah, yeah, it was wicked. A barn was leveled. There were like 70 buildings that were destroyed in total. We haven't had an F2 tornado or an EF2 tornado, according to J.R. Curtex, since 2015. So it's been 4 years since we've had a significant tornado event here in Michigan. And as I had pointed out to Amy, this is only March. We have 6 more months of this shit, of this potentially destructive weather. It was just a quick hit. Now, I stopped at a gas station when I was out, checking out some damage. I stopped at this gas station at the corner of M52 and Brewer Road. It's called Valero. And the clerk and I were talking about the when the tornado was coming in. And she said, yeah, the sky had turned completely yellow.
That's what it looked like out here.
And it looked like that here, yeah. And she said the sky had turned completely yellow. And then the wind picked up. And she had gotten the EAS alert on her phone. And she says, "Oh my God, another child abduction," because we recently had an abduction in the Upper Peninsula, and I'll get to that in a minute as well. I'll get to that in a minute. She says, "Oh, not another child. Come on, we just had like I had like 2 or 3 messages on my phone about a child abduction," and then she picked it up and it said tornado warning for your area, and then she says, "Oh shit," and I would have been saying a lot more actually, but. She says, "Come on, kid, we got to get in the basement," and talking to her daughter. And she was so concerned about toy time. She like it didn't even faze her that there was a tornado in the area. She just wanted to play with her toys. And, "Come on, we got to get to the basement." And yeah, it was nothing comes between a kid and Legos, not even tornadoes.
I guess not.
But it was man.
That's when you go and put the Legos down in the basement and say, okay, let's go down and play with the Legos in the basement.
Yeah. Yeah. But I really feel bad. My heart goes out to the people of Vernon and Bancroft.
Yeah. Did Durand and Perry and all them get hit?
I didn't make it out to Durand, but I think they got sideswiped by it.
I know Stacy lives in Perry.
Yeah.
And I was talking to her, and she says there's not much damage in Perry,
No.
but she says farther out,
like Bancroft and Vernon.
Yeah.
They got hit. I heard that a tornado had touched down like on the south end of Corunna, but
we didn't notice any damage
Well,
in the area we were, but then you go like out to Morris and that there may have been more
Yeah.
damage
yeah,
because that's farther south.
yeah, 71 was closed, and at Bennington Road, which would be Vernon. Now because I was explaining to Dad, if you go down State Road out of Corunna, where you come around the curve there at Lyons Road, you would have to keep going, like you're going towards Grand River,
Yeah.
and you're gonna see trees snapped in half, sheared in half,
Oh.
and there's like tree debris everywhere, like pieces of twigs and branches and large limbs were down.
Dang.
And there's a barn that was leveled. I mean, completely wiped out. And it was a nice barn too. And someone had posted or commented under the picture, because I saw the picture on Facebook. Someone commented, "Well, that's why there's farm insurance. You can have a nice new one built." Yeah, but here's the thing about that. I'm sure that guy had lots of memories with, because if his grandfather built it, or if his grandfather owned it, I'm sure that there were a lot of memories
Right.
in that particular barn. You never get that back. And I know to most people that might be,
Bicentennial.
yeah, if it was built back in, because barnwood lasts a long time. Barnwood can last for many years. But it's insurance. I mean, is that everyone's answer to everything now? Well, we've got insurance. You can just have a new one built. That's true, but you can't. You have memories that also go with that. Excuse me. But anyway, and I did when I was out driving around. I was at the corner of Morris and Garrison, and there was a roof ripped right off of a barn. I didn't get pictures, but I did get some pictures of like down trees and stuff like that on Brewer Road. Shiawassee County got hit particularly hard. As a matter of fact, I read something on Facebook today that they're accepting bottled water donations in Durand from 12:30 until 3 this afternoon. I was thinking of buzzing out there, stop at the dollar store and get a case of water and take it out to them.
Yeah.
I was thinking of doing it. Give me something to do. But I'd have to read the post again because I don't know where to take that.
If you do it in Corona,
Yeah.
it's right there at the.
Because they said it was in Durand.
Oh, okay, they got one in Durand.
Yeah.
Red Cross set up.
Yeah. Yeah. That's probably what it was. I just don't remember where I read it. I don't remember what Facebook page it was.
Oh.
I'm sure if I drive out there, because up until 3 o'clock, it's just past 1 now.
Yeah.
I've been here for over an hour already.
Really don't have to buy it.
Well,
Take one of these.
take one of ours?
Yeah.
Okay.
Take one of ours out there.
I'll run it out to them.
We got so much, and we keep getting some every time someone
Yeah.
else gets some. So.
Let me get the joint.
Yeah. But it has been one hell of a week. One hell of a week. And remember last week how I had mentioned something about, someone posted a picture of a feather.
Uh-huh.
Well, that person, I think they ended up blocking us on Facebook.
Oh, well.
Not my loss. I don't like narcissists anyway. I really don't care for any.
They were jealous because my feathers were bigger.
Well, no, it wasn't that. It's just, it wasn't that at all. They just like to be the constant center of attention all the time.
And with no return address either.
Well, no, it didn't come from that person. But I know that's what you're talking about. But the person who posted it, they just like to be the center of attention all the time. They think the world revolves around them and everything they touch turns to gold, and it's pathetic. And while Dad's talking to the dog, the dog won't respond to you.
He thinks it will.
But anyway, those are the kinds of people that you have to avoid. I try to avoid. They think that everything they touch turns to gold. And the world revolves around them, and it doesn't. And I don't care who gets mad. You can help people in the world, which is great, and I encourage it every day, all day, and twice on Sunday. Well, today is Sunday. But, not everything needs to be put on Facebook. Not even a stinking feather. But anyway, I'll end it there. I did write some information in my journal about the tornadoes. Let's see here. Yeah, there were 2 in Shiawassee County and 2 in Genesee. So the first one that touched down in Shiawassee County was near Pittsburgh, which is at the corner of M52 and Grand River Road. And then the other one simultaneously developed out by Bancroft, moved northeast into Vernon, 125-mile-an-hour winds. I mean, that's kicking ass, big time kicking ass.
Made it a disaster.
And then
18 miles.
another one formed south of Flushing, faded. That was like 85-mile-an-hour winds, and then another one formed by Mount Morris, which was another 80-mile-an-hour, and those were EF zeros.
When they first started out, well, they had 80 miles an hour.
Yeah, the one in Pittsburgh, which is at M52 in Grand River, the road that goes into Langsburg, Grand River. Yeah, it started out 80 mile an hour, and then the second one was 125, and then the third one was 85, and then the fourth one was 80. I mean, that's powerful stuff. You cannot ever, under any circumstances, underestimate the power of Mother Nature or nature. I don't really like to use the word Mother Nature, just nature. You can't underestimate nature.
Well, Mother Nature.
Well, or nature.
No. Well, they've had potential thunderstorms and
the tornado,
blizzards
but the tornado, yeah, but the tornado chances were very minimal. But even still, even with minimal tornado chances, they take that very seriously, and you have to. I mean, there were people who called into the television stations or emailing and posting on the television stages, Facebook pages. Well, you're interrupting my programming. You know what? You can catch up on the program next week, or you can go on the website and watch your episode because you feel so inconvenienced because something that was of greater importance interrupted your program. You know what? There's people who you lost an episode of a program. Those people have lost their homes permanently. They lost something they will never get back, and then now they have to start all over from scratch, and they have to build upon starting over with a new way of life and living. Because one quick swipe of nature had taken that away from them. I could not imagine losing my home. Granted, it's not a palace, it's not something brand new, it needs a lot of work done, but it's a roof over my head. And I'm grateful and thankful every day that I have a roof over my head. It may not be anybody's or everybody's first choice, but it's a roof over my head. It's a home, and it's what you do in the house that makes it a home. And there are people now who have no homes. They've got memories, sure, but that's all they have. Their possessions are gone. They have to, they have to stay with relatives. They have to stay in shelters. They're lucky that they still have jobs, sure, but they have to start over from scratch. And all people can talk about is a stupid television show, or they leave these just ridiculously profound, profoundly stupid comments. Well, there's insurance for that. What a jackass. What do you mean, wah wah?
That's what the news says.
Well, no, I'm talking about these people who are so ignorant. Well, that's what there's insurance for. Don't be a jackass. So there's insurance. Big whoop. You know what? They have to start over from scratch. Everything that they have worked so hard for, they put their blood, sweat, and tears into a home.
And pictures and everything.
That's what I'm talking about. They put their blood, sweat, and tears, all of their hard work, years of hard work, trying to build a home for their families, gone because of a tornado. It could happen to anybody. It could happen to us. It could happen to our neighbors. It could happen to our family members, which I'm sure it has. And it's not just twisters. It's any kind of natural disaster. It's unpredictable, and you can never be too prepared for things like this. I'm so tired of these people who they take everything for granted, and they don't appreciate what they have enough because they think that they can never lose it. Well, I got news for you. You can lose anything and everything. It's possible. It's always possible. As long as there's something to be lost, it can be taken. But anyway, that's the end of my little rant. And I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to get out to Durand and take that case of water out there and see if I can help. So I love you all. Thank you for watching this week. Guys, you want to say anything before I wrap up?
Peace out.
Amy?
Peace out. Have a good day.
She's very deeply enthralled into her cell phone.
That's all women do.
All right. I'm out of here. Have a great week, guys. I hope this week will be a lot better than last week.
Be safe.
Last week was shitty. Looking for some redemption here. Have a wonderful St. Patrick's Day. Don't drink and drive. And you better wear green because you'll be pinched. Take care, guys. I'm out of here.